Good evening and welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another episode of Golden Lap. We are back for race number 3 and so far, been a pretty good season, hasn't it? It's been a pretty drama-filled season considering there's only been 2 races. Race number 1, King took a full haul of points, the maximum points in Monaco with 26. However, Nielsen got the revenge at the next race in Stretto, taking first place, taking 25 points, but King once again got the golden lap, got the fastest lap and took 19 points. So at the moment, King is on top of the pile, 45 points. Nielsen only 5 points from that second place and chasing down. But as a team, we're only 10 points clear of the Waylands. The Waylands are the team we are most worried about this season. It would seem. Now, we're going to go into the press conference, guys. So, first comment is from Hitching Baz, who says, given the trouble Wayland gave you in that last race, are you looking to improve the cars before the next race? Well, I can answer that with a no. But yes. Yes, but also no. So, we are going to build the parts. That is going to be the plan. We're going to build the parts, but we're not going to implement them until we absolutely need to, because we want to keep the cars on a level playing field for as long as possible and just kind of see how we go about that. You know, the other teams are going to build parts. They are going to improve. They are going to go for race wins. But just yet, we're not going to put those parts on the car. Also, if you left a comment, but I actually replied in the comments, check those replies on the last video, because I did reply to 3 or 4 comments actually. And that's actually the only press conference question there was this week. So it's a bit of a shorter press conference, which isn't a bad thing. I'll take it. Sometimes that is what's going to happen. So yeah, thank you very much for the comments, guys. I really do appreciate it. If you want to get your press conferences sorted for next episode, then yeah, get them in. Press conference, type away whatever question you've got regarding the season, the storylines that we're building. At the moment, it's like Nielsen is trying to claw it back after that first DNF. And that is the press conference. All good. So, pre-race time, we're going to look at the cars. Right. So, last time we built a chassis, which would mean that the next weakest part is a steering part. So, we're going to build that. You can only build one per in between, between races. But we did say anything that goes below 70% is going to get an upgrade. However, it would be a bit unfair to then do the upgrades, but not on both cars. So that's what I'm going to do. And even then, look at that. Nielsen actually got 1 extra point. So that is the backroom staff competing, the engineers and, the technicians competing behind the scenes as well. So that is pre-race done. I know we're kind of speeding through the episode, but it is for good reason, because we want to get into qualifying. Now we are at Retorcido. It is a narrow track, which tends to mean qualifying is even more important, because you will struggle to to bring overtakes on the track. So we're going to click continue and get into the qualifying. Here we go. First things first, we're going to send out both cars on the soft tire. Of course we are. We're going to go 2 times speed, send out, leave a gap, send out, open up the sectors and make sure that the entire lap can be seen. It can. I'm just going to move it a little bit that way, and off we go. We are on season 10, guys. Do not worry, do not fret. When season 10 is done, there will be more golden lap coming. I promise you that. And there was actually a comment, I think it was from Danny, who spoke about, oh, would you live stream any? Would you live stream some golden lap? I absolutely would. I think that could be a good idea. However, I would need to schedule it on a regular evening, because life is busy, as you might imagine, and I need to make sure that I can follow up to a schedule, make it regular, make it so that, basically I'm not going to make a promise and then break it. I'm not going to say, oh, I'm going to stream every night 2 hours at this time, because that's not realistic because, you know, life. But if I could say schedule once a week and be like, okay, this time, this is locked in. I will not have plans because this is locked in. And if 1 week I have to change that day, then I'll change that day and I'll bring it forward a day or back a day or something like that, and still try and keep to that one stream per week. Now, do let me know in the comments if that is something you would be interested in. I did do a few live streams and they did go okay. You know, I did get a bit of engagement, a bit of chat going, which is lovely. But yeah, tell me if it's something you would be interested in, guys. Because obviously, if you guys aren't interested, then I would be streaming to no one. And that would be a little bit silly. Anyway, let's keep going. That's good, yes. Okay, that's fine, 33. So after the first couple of laps, we are 6 and 8, which is a little bit lower down. And part of that is definitely going to be maybe other cars have brought some upgrades to this track. And we obviously have kept ourselves where we, you know, the car is the same except for a couple of, well, I say upgrades. They've made new parts, whereas we have just upgraded the old parts. So it may already be well, then again, I was about to say it may already be the case that like we are playing catch up and we need to upgrade our cars and build new parts. But then Anders Nilsson does that and you kind of think, oh, maybe we don't, you know? And of course, Edward King would have put in a fast lap, but he said he lost focus. And if he loses focus, then not really much you can do about it. He's lost focus. He needs to focus up and he needs to put in a good lap. Okay, that's good tuning as well. Send him out. It looks like we are only going to get maybe 5, 6, or at a push, 7 qualifying laps in, which means that the tuning is going to be difficult. We're going to need to get a little bit lucky with some of the tuning. So let's see how it goes. Nilsson can't focus, but Edward King can. And therefore, I think Edward King should put in green sectors and should move on up. Maybe even to 4th. That's what I'm going to guess. I knew it. I knew it. 4th position for Edward King. Nilsson didn't focus up, so didn't put in a great lap. But even then, the lap wasn't slow by any means. So let's continue on. We do need to keep upgrading these cars. Okay, these are a couple of good options here. Oh, lovely. And again, that was really good. That was really good. That was a very, very good session there for Edward King. Okay, now this is not great. We've got all zeros. So the best option is to spend 1 and hope for a little bit better to come out. Let's go for it. Let's spend 5. And we get... That was great. That was great. That was absolutely brilliant. Anders Nilsson's got the best chassis that we can give him right now on this track at this race. Let's see. Here we go. So they've got a little bit of space out on the track. Paul Woods is going purple. Paul Woods, no, white second sector. But still does improve because of how good that first sector was. Oh my word. Fair enough. And both cars here, both of our cars on green laps. I just want to see green oh, purple from Nilsson in the middle sector. King goes 3rd, Nilsson goes 1st. Really good. Awesome stuff. Really, really good. So, like I was saying, I was thinking for a split second there after those first laps that maybe other teams have brought in some new parts and we're going to struggle a little bit to keep up with that. Not the case, it would seem. We're still able to compete at the top of the pile. Very good. And, I mean, Anders Nilsson may well actually get the double golden tune. He might get the full golden tune. There is a chance. Okay, we've accidentally released... Oh, Mendes has gone purple. in that first sector and second sector, and goes fastest by 1.5 seconds. Henri Lefebvre goes second as well. Okay, but Nilsson is replying. Here we go. Stuck behind Cole Hoffman, so might get a white sector now. Definitely will slow him down. That's unfortunate. We're only going to get, I think, one more flying lap done, but 2 tuning sessions. So let's go. I think we've actually got a decent chance here. Well, we should be able to get the steering done for Edward King, but probably not both. Let's just try. This is risky. Oh, but it paid off. It paid off because I just wanted to try and focus on getting as many points. But that's a lot of points. 53 points in 1 tuning session. That is like, you know, the top... How would I phrase it? Percentile, I guess. Like, the likelihood of that is really slim. But it could happen, so you don't want to kind of rule it out. But it is quite a slim chance. Okay, we've got space on the track. Here we go. Edward King starts his flying lap. Nilsson can't focus. Come on, Nilsson. You've got to focus, sir. Please. King is going green. Nilsson is going white. King goes into third. Fletcher goes into second. And Nilsson down in fifth we're basically not focusing up alongside. But look at that, not focusing up alongside a couple of bidders stuck. And also went 42.65, 42.51 is the fastest. So still almost went faster. If he had a focused up, I reckon he takes that. I reckon he takes pole. So it is a bit frustrating that he's not managed to. So 2 golden tunes out of the 3 for Edward King. Nilsson will get... It's very unlikely. Let's try it. 51 required. 49 required. 47 required. It's got to be a risky one. Oh, and that's not paid off at all. It's not paid off at all. Yeah, no, okay, it didn't work out, but it's okay. Oh, I could have sent him out. It wouldn't have mattered. They wouldn't have got their lap done anyway. So let's finish the qualifying session up. We start third and 5th. With Edward King out qualifying Anders Nilsson. That is a little bit of a surprise. Yeah. A surprise to be sure. Okay, well, that actually means that Edward King is going to start on the mediums this time. Nilsson starts on the hards. And we see how they go. Tyler Edwards, crew chief of Team Wayland, partied a bit too hard. Let's open up that. Click on that. I can't move the... I'm sorry, I can't move the screen yet, so we're going to zoom in. Have a good start, lads. Let's go. Now, that is not a good start. What? 3rd and 5th is now 3rd and 9th. Nilsson's had an awful start. King has recovered and is now into 2nd. And Nilsson is trying to get the recovery done. Up into 7th right now. We are going to let them push and burn for 2 laps, or at least until the red appears on the stress meter. It's gonna... There we go. It's gone. Okay, so we'll calm them down now. And we will settle into the race. So let's come out of this one. We're going to keep it on 1-time speed for a little while because we're still early doors. Want to get that stress meter done. King is in the zone. Okay, you can have a push. You're not going to have a burn because we are going to play into our strategy of save fuel and burn at the end. Absolutely send it at the end. That's what we like. That's my go-to strategy. I like that strategy. It does mean that sometimes you get overtaken, you know, early doors. You might lose positions. You're playing a bit of catch-up. But I think we can play catch-up. We can afford to play catch-up because we've got two champions behind the wheels of our cars. You know, it goes without saying. We have got champions. They are champion quality. And at the minute, Edward King is having the better of the two. Having the better race of the two. Paul Woods down in 9th is not a bad thing at all, is it? Okay, we are now 5 laps in. I'm going to go to 2 times speed. And we are just going to kind of extend this first period of the race. Anytime there is a I'm focused up, then we give them a push. We don't give them a burn, we give them a push. We let them try and get on up the track a little bit, up the field a little bit. Nothing doing that time. Okay, 3rd and 6th. Got 2 Etzolinis in the top 5. We've got a Chapman in the top 5. We've also got Wayland leading the way. King can have a push. Let's go. Try and catch up to Fletcher if you can. Only 3 seconds down the road. It shouldn't actually be a problem. And let's calm it down. And now Nilsson gets a push. And again, try and catch up to Gruber. Try and get that gap going. Okay, it's now Pereira because they've been a swap up ahead. But okay, Nilsson's in the zone again. Another what? Another? Yeah, go for it. Get Pereira. Come on, you can do it. I know it's difficult to overtake. We will also work our strategies as best we can. Nilsson will calm down now. We are running 3rd and 6th. Paul Woods is putting a bit of pressure on Nilsson. But I'm not overly worried about it right now. No focus. Okay. Gonna have a sip of drink. There we go. King's in the zone. Okay, lovely stuff. Let's go. Got the Etzolinis either side of King at the minute. It does mean that Mendes is running off a little bit. King's in the zone again, as is Nilsson. Okay, let's go. And the Waylands are now ahead of both of our cars. We've got Woods ahead of Nilsson with the fastest lap. People are going into the pits now, so there will be a bit of rotation. There will be a bit of... Actually, it'll be both the Etzolinis that dive in soon. There we go. There's one. Nilsson's in the zone again. Have a go. And then I wouldn't be surprised if Fletcher dives in now. It would make sense. There we go. So we are now running in 2nd and 5th because of those pit stops. Let's calm Nilsson down, who's trying to get past Pereira. King running in 2nd. I mean, Mendes has run off down the road a little bit. We're going to check the fuel. We're at negative 4.3. But there is a long way to go in this race. We are only 18 laps in of 68 laps. That's a lot of laps. Mendes goes into the pits. King is now the leader of the race, but obviously Mendes is the net leader of the race, you would expect. And we are going to pit... We are going to pit King quite soon. Because those mediums are running out. Maybe let's aim for lap 26, 27. There or thereabouts. We were actually running a 1-2 there for a split second. Okay, no focus up. That's a no problem. 22 out of 68. Just about a third of the way through. Okay, King has now been overtaken. So Mendes has actually made that pit stop and then recovered to overtake both of our drivers. But the strategy might come into play a little bit later on, because it looks like Mendes is going for a 2-stop where we naturally tend to fall into a 1-stop. King's in the zone. Okay, so I'm going to let him push for 2 laps and then he'll pit. And I don't see there being a super heavy chance of rain. Okay. Hard tire doesn't look like it goes to the end easily. So I'm going to go for another medium. I'm going to go for another medium for King. So I'm actually saying King is going to go to a 2-stop. Whereas Nilsson is more settled on that 1-stop. So we are now running 2 and 5. Nilsson is quick out there though, but Woods has the fastest lap because that was a push lap or a burn lap or whatever you want to say. King is in the zone. Let's go then. Okay, and we're going to check the fueling. We are negative 2.1. Keep going. Can't focus up. That's fine. Calm it down. So we're running that 2-stop for King, but we are going to run a 1-stop for Anders Nilsson, who is just going to keep racing, keep extending those tires for as long as possible. Running in a really useful second place right now. Now King getting overtaken by Pereira is not useful. But again, those other cars are able to push. We're not burning. We can get those positions back. In the zone is Nilsson. Let's go. King's in the zone as well. Let's go. And got the overtake done on Gruber. Well done. Nilsson calms it down. Nilsson's looking like he can go to like lap 40, 41, 42. Potentially. King has to calm that down. Nilsson can't focus and King, no drama. There we go. Okay, Nilsson has now lost that position. But extending these tires so long. It's never a bad option. Not really. You know, it opens up your race in a different way because you just pit stop maybe once and then just drive again. King's in the zone. Lovely stuff. Let's go. And then we're going to check that fueling. We are negative half a lap. So we'll check that like maybe lap 39. I reckon we'll be good to go. King has made a move on Pereira and now is just behind Fletcher. Okay, maybe lap 40 where we're able to push. Which will actually be when Nilsson manages to pit as well. Nilsson running in second. It's crazy that Woods has pitted twice. Nilsson is yet to pit. Okay, we can burn and we can burn. Okay, so Nilsson is going to go for one more lap and then we're bringing it in. One more lap. Let's go. And is in the zone. Okay, so give it a push. Onto those mediums. Yep, onto those mediums. And then it may be a soft tyre for Edward King at the end here. With the potential of... Yeah, the mediums will go to the end. That's good. With the potential of a... going onto a soft tyre. Which would be a fast tyre at the end of this race. Okay, we're now burning to the end. Both of them are ready to go. So let's give them a push. We're running 3 and 4, but King needs to pit again. I am happy for them to race as things stand. In fact, I think it would be more useful if King let Nilsson go. But, I mean, look at that. He's in the zone again. But that wouldn't really be fair when it comes to championship points, would it? Not really. I mean, strategically, I want to play it, but I can't imagine either of these guys being like, yep, I'll let him go. I can't really imagine that being the case. Okay, so King is going to pit on lap 52 unless there's a yellow flag before then. Or they're both in the zone. Okay. It's a full-on race now. It definitely is. Calm it down, guys. There we go. And they're catching up to the Waylands again because of the burn. King will have to pit, but I think he'll be able to make it up. Hopefully Nielsen gets past the Waylands. Okay, that's lap 51. Nielsen is quick. He is quick right now. Okay, they're in the zone. Let's go, and we're going to pit. It's going to be a soft tyre. Nielsen's in the zone. We are running 3 and 4. The Waylands are slowing down big time. Nielsen's got the move done, and King is going to dive into the pits. King is then going to come out. Calm it down, as does Nielsen. And now it is... Well, look, King is on the fastest engine mode, the fastest tyre, and there is a chance, however slim, there is a chance that the Waylands have to pit at some point as well. Nielsen just overtook Mendes. That is second place. King is 17 laps behind. The 2-stop has not worked for him. Nielsen's got the fastest lap as well. The 1-stop really did work for him. But then again, King is bringing those numbers down. It's at 12 seconds now. 11 and a half. What's it at now? It's at... Oh, Mendes went in the pits. Mendes did go on a 3-stop. I don't think you really ever want to go on a 3-stop. We are running 2 positions in the podium. Nielsen is trying to overtake Paul Woods and has just done that. And is in the zone on it as well. And Paul Woods has gone into the pit, so we're running a strategic masterclass right now. Okay, Nielsen calms it down. The gap between the cars is 9.9. 9.6, 9.4, 9.2. You've got Nielsen on a medium, a used medium, quite significant. You've got King on a soft, a faster soft, and bringing those numbers down. Look at that, it's already at 7, bringing those numbers down rapidly. I don't know how this ends. Whoever focuses up may just take it. Can Edward King catch up to Anders Nielsen? The 2-stop versus the 1-stop. Can't focus, but the gap is 4.4. The Waylands have played a different strategy. They've gone for the 3-stop. And they're on the soft tyre now, but it's a little bit too little, too late. The gap is 4.3. Neither driver right now focusing up. The gap is 3.8. Oh my word. Nielsen can't focus up, therefore King might just bring this gap down. It's 2.7. We're going to watch this. 1-time speed. Here we go. It's under 2 seconds. This is a chase. This is an absolute chase. Nielsen's in the zone. He can have a burn, a push, all of the above. He's in the zone. He gets the push. But the gap is 1.7. Oh my goodness. I don't know. Is King going to be able to get it done? That is the question. Is Nielsen going to focus up on this last lap? It's a swap. King is now in the zone on the last lap. 2.2 is the gap. 2.0. 2.1. 2.0 again. It's coming down. 1.9. 1.6. I think he's just going to be a little bit too far out. 1.4. 1.3. 1.2. And that... Oh! Anders Nielsen had nothing left in those tyres. Edward King, one more lap. And Edward King is going to get the move done. You have to think. The fastest lap has actually gone to Mendes, who takes an extra point for it. So Anders Nielsen gets the win by less than a second. That's going to be our title. Less than a second. Carlos Mendes with the fastest lap. Wayland take a chunk of points. Of course, we take a very, very well-earned 1-2. Give it a celebration, guys. Get the champagne going all over. 2 Brits on the podium. Anders Nilsson on the top step. We take 43 points. Really good. There was no red flag, so there was no repairs available. And the gap is now 13. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And I mean, look, Woods is not far behind. Mendes not far behind. The Waylands will be biding their time a little bit. Next up, Mutton Chop. Oh my word, less than a second in it. And of course, like, what? Okay, so in that race, or in most of my races, this is how I structure things. The car that qualifies ahead, you know, is granted the medium tyre to start, the faster tyre, and the first pit stop, meaning the likelihood of the undercut is strong. The second car starts on the hard tyre, extends that hard tyre, gets the likelihood of a yellow flag a little bit more, and a cheaper pit stop, and goes to a one stop, most likely. But the flip of that is that Edward King, or, you know, that first driver, usually on a 2-stop, is going to get a soft tyre at the end of the race. It's very balanced. The car at the front gets the pit stops, maybe the undercut, the faster tyres. The guy at the back gets the one stop and therefore spends more time on track, loses less time in the pits, but is never on the faster tyre. And in this race, less than 1 second was the difference between those two strategies. And of course, the extra to it is the driver who focuses up the most gets to push the most. The fuel strategy is the same. So I believe I am being as even, as level as I can be. You know, if you qualify first, you get the 2-stop and the faster tyre. If you qualify second, you get the 1-stop, but the slower tyre. It just so happened that Nilsson managed to hold it off at the end. Nilsson managed to get the win. If King had made the overtake, King would have got the win. If King had focused up a lap earlier, maybe King would have got the win. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to set these like routines, trying to set these kind of like regulations to how I want to run the championship in a way that is not favoring one car or the other, you know? And because of that DNF for Nilsson, you know, King is still ahead. And finishing second is still very much useful for Edward King. I don't know. Tell me what you think, guys. If you think that's a fair way of running things or not. I think it is. I think it is. So, thank you for watching, guys. I do hope you've enjoyed. We'll be back for the next race, which will be at the Mutton Chop track, British GP. I do hope you've enjoyed today's episode. And of course, I will catch you next time.